brutal rash of injuries has left many fantasy managers scrambling for viable options in their starting lineups for Week 8, even with no NFL teams on bye. Although replacing stars like Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Brandon Aiyuk seems nearly impossible, we can dig deep into the available player pool to find potential replacements. Here are some key fantasy football players to consider adding this week. 1. Rashod Bateman, Baltimore Ravens, 39% availability. Bateman emerged as the leading receiver in Week 7, catching all 4 of his targets for 121 yards and a touchdown. With Zay Flowers dealing with an ankle issue, Bateman's role in the Ravens' high-powered offense could expand even further. FAAB bid, $10 too. Ricky Pearsall, San Francisco 49ers, 49% availability. With Brandon Aiyuk out for the season and both Juwan Jennings and Deebo Samuel nursing injuries, Pearsall has an excellent opportunity to make an impact. The Niners' first-round pick made his NFL debut last Sunday, catching 3 passes for 21 yards. He played the most snaps of any 49ers receiver, making him a solid add. FAAB bid, $13 3. Jonnu Smith, Miami Dolphins, 57% availability. Smith led the Dolphins in receiving last week with 7 receptions for 86 yards and a touchdown, despite Tyler Huntley at quarterback. With Tua Tagovailoa expected to return, Smith could still be a valuable option, especially for those streaming tight ends. FAAB bid, board 4. QB Russell Wilson, Pittsburgh Steelers, 59% availability. Wilson had a stellar outing last week, throwing for 264 yards and 2 touchdowns while adding a rushing score. Although fantasy managers in 1 QB leagues may have a solid starter, Wilson's potential as a spot starter, particularly with George Pickens as his target, makes him worth considering. FAAB bid 5.5. RB Tyler Goodson, Indianapolis Colts, 68% availability. With Jonathan Taylor still recovering from an ankle injury, Goodson and Trey Sermon have been sharing carries. Although Sermon has seen more snaps, Goodson has been the more productive back, making him a sneaky add. FAAB bid 6.6. Jalen McMillan, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 67% availability. With injuries sidelining both Chris Godwin and potentially Mike Evans, McMillan, a rookie third-round pick, stands to benefit significantly. He was already seeing plenty of targets before Godwin's injury, and his upside is high moving forward. FAAB bid, $8.7. QB, Jameis Winston, Cleveland Browns, 84% availability. While the Browns have struggled offensively, Winston's aggressive style of play can lead to big plays, even if it also means a higher risk of turnovers. If you find yourself in an emergency situation, he could be a serviceable option. FAAB bid, $1.8. Cedric Tillman, Cleveland Browns, 87% availability. With Winston likely to start, Tillman could see increased targets. He led the team with 12 targets in the last game, catching 8 for 81 yards. The Browns face a challenging schedule. Tillman has a chance to emerge as a consistent contributor. FAAB bid, 5.9. Caliph Raymond, Detroit Lions, 87% availability. With Jameson Williams suspended, Raymond should see increased opportunities. He caught his first touchdown of the season against the Vikings, and with more snaps coming his way, he's an attractive option. FAAB bid, 4.10. Cedric Wilson, New Orleans Saints, 95% availability. Wilson has stepped up in recent weeks, recording 6 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown. While the quarterback situation in New Orleans may be shaky, Wilson's increased production makes him worth a look, especially with an easier schedule coming up. FAAB bid, $2.